Hello everybody, I'm Roadblock, and this is a Raid Shadow Legends video. We are back on the free-to-play challenge account today, and I think it's time that we do a longer update about the account. I haven't had the opportunity to really tell you guys about all the changes because I was just so sick. I actually had the flu over the last couple of weeks, and I'm feeling much better now. You can still probably hear a little bit of it in my voice. And it was just the flu. I swear I didn't shave my head for any other reason. Unrelated to me being sick, it was just a decision I needed to make as the hair was coming. I mean, I was losing it, guys. You know, it was time to say goodbye and move on. And that's what I chose to do. So expect this look moving forward on the channel. Let's go ahead and jump into the free-to-play challenge account so I can give you guys an update. Now, first and foremost, we are ranked 6th in the whole event right now for the free-to-play challenge. That's not the highest I've ever been, but quite close. I think I made it to 5th once. We are crushing it. And a big part of that is because I finally have been able to go through and get all of the keeps caught up to 20. Or is it? Yeah, stage 20, right? So that's a bunch of points that other creators have had that I haven't had, and I have now caught up with them. And the reason we were able to do that is because we finally had a mission to do so. That mission got us caught up all the way to here. You can see we are at 251 out of the 286. I'm covering it up just slightly there. And so our next one is to go ahead and do this. This is an easy one for me, by the way. Brutal or higher, 15 million. I can do that in one key. I can get 15 million on Nightmare right now. I've even had keys as high as 20 million on Nightmare, which is actually getting me quite high in the rankings for Clan Boss right now too. Things have been going really, really well just in general when it comes to Clan Boss. What about everything kind of? So Doom Tower has been going very well, all things considered. This is one of the harder Doom Tower rotations that you're going to face in Raid Shadow Legends, and we're able to beat the Dark Fae. Now, I have to manual this fight. I cannot auto. I even have to take gear off of my Alice because we have a reaction amulet, and this reaction amulet has a special effect seen here. It has a 25% chance to change critical hit into normal when attacked before first turn. They're stealing my Alice, and she keeps the benefit of this amulet. I have struggles to kill my own Alice that gets stolen sometimes, even with my super strong Alice. So it's been a real challenge. I had to take that off, and then her HP was too high, so I had to take her ring off because she's rocking an HP ring. So it was an adventure, but we did beat it. As much as I want to farm Dark Fae, I can't do it right now. Not with this team. Maybe if we get Armor built up and Cold Heart, and then can somehow finagle a way to keep my Alice from being stolen after the first turn. If I'm going to auto a stage, it'll probably be Griffin, so we can get some of that that good gear from the Griffin. It's the, where'd it go? Guardian set, yes. It's like a built-in ally protect, basically. And you're going to be healing the people that this gear is on. So this can go a very long way to getting me a lot of value in Clan Boss and potentially getting into Ultra Nightmare the more of those pieces I get. So that's probably what I'm going to farm unless I can come up with a farmable team for Dark Fae. Clan Boss, Chimera, we actually crushed it on Chimera. Number 2 in Chimera progress on normal with 19.23 million. Now, very quickly, we'll talk about how that happened. Basically, on the last phase, Viper form is really hard. And the Viper form killed everybody except Ugo. And if you know about Ugo, Ugo can just revive the whole team if she's the last one alive, which she did. And I was able to go an entire second phase. This is the same way that Bront, who was in first place, also beat it. He mentioned that in a couple videos that he's done recently. Hydra. On Hydra, I am not on the board for damage. Well, technically, I'm in second place. Because on hard, I did 3,000 damage. That bumped me up into second place. I cheesed it a little bit, I'm not going to lie, you know. But my good team is still doing about 3 million is what I got, I think, last week on normal Hydra. So that team, I'm always going to wait until the end of the week to do my Hydra key because I want to make sure that my team is as strong as possible. I'm in gold 5. I have been, everyone's booked. My best gear is on everybody. People are upgraded, ascended, glyphed. You know, I want to make sure that I'm putting my best foot forward. And if I use that key today and then I pull a Geomancer tomorrow, he might make that team instead. So I don't necessarily want to do that until the very last minute. So I'm going to wait to do the main key. But for jokes, I was like, well, I have to do a key to complete one of the advanced quests. So I just went ahead and used a team that would get me at least one hit in, because that would proc some damage and would count towards the event. They'll probably delete that score and be like, either way, you know, take points where you can get them, guys. I'm playing by the rules, but if they delete it, it's no big deal. So that's where we're at with Hydra. And then for Clan Boss, I've already talked about it a little bit. We have 2 keyed a little bit. We've done it in the past. This one was unfortunately a 3 key. But again, my highest score is 20 million. So we're pretty close. 1 key in Brutal should get me over 15 million. But that mission that we're on, it's not a 1 key. You can do it on multiple keys. So even if it ends up happening tomorrow with my 3 keys in Nightmare, we're going to be good. We're going to get that mission done. So Arena, we are solidly now in Gold 5. That's a pretty big, solid gap there. And you can see here, if we refresh, we are getting our free easy wins. We want to keep doing that. That's basically the only shot we have right now until we get an Arbiter. I cannot compete at this level without an Arbiter. I do not get enough aura or speed out of my High Katoon. And it's not a leveling thing. Even though she's only level 40, I won't be able to get that level up there. But that's where we're at in Arena. Live Arena. We're Silver 2, baby. Silver 2, and we just got our last chest of this month, and thankfully it should add up to where the next chest that we get will be in March, and that means we'll be able to get Primal Quartz again. The Primal Quartz that we got from this did not end up in anything. It was a rare. Very excited to be able to get back in here and farming this stuff. We've also received some pretty good pieces of gear from here. Some of the Impulse set has been good. I think I finally have a few 2-piece sets now, so that's going to be really good moving forward to upgrade our champions and get some speed set with a bonus, right? So I'm very happy about Arena progress as well. Faction Wars is slowly improving. I think we're behind most of the pack right now, but overall, we're doing pretty good. I can't complain about where we're at. It's not a huge priority for me. It is a priority, but it's not the top of the list. The top of the list is like Arbiter and those other things. Because the thing about Arbiter too, if I get Arbiter, I can pretty much 63-star High Elf Crit. You know what I mean? Because she's a reviver, healer. You build her fast and probably a little tanky. So I can see myself getting a lot of value out of her for the High Elf Crypt, even if the best champion in my High Elf is a regular Elhain that I've pulled, right? She can keep Elhain alive, whatever other food that is brought along with them, just to get the 3 stars. And as long as she ends the fight with a revive, we'll be good. So Arbiter is a priority, and we're working towards that right now. We are pretty close to some ancient shards here too, at 239, so we do need to get a few more stars. I'd like to think that today, yeah, see, that is a tough faction for me. Skinwalker is really hard. We might be able to put some gear on some of these champions here. We definitely have 2 epics here, Jizzo and Delaja. I bet you with a little bit of gear on them, we might be able to get a few extra stars. So we'll take a look and see what we can do there. Dungeons, we already talked about the keeps. Everything else is going very well. Stage 20 on Ice Golem, stage 24 on Dragon, farming on stage 20. We'll probably take Dragon into hard very soon. I'd like to make that push. I just got to go ahead and get the both physical energy of myself and literal energy in game to be able to get into Dragon, push through stage 25 by force, and then I should be able to auto in these stages because I've pulled a Calvalax in this challenge, and poisons do really, really well in hard Dragon, right? For the rest of the dungeons, we've pulled some help for Spider's Den and Fire Knight. What help is that? We pulled a Cold Heart. I have not made a full video on the fact that I pulled her, but we did pull her from a void, obviously, and she's going to be a very, very big asset for us moving forward. We already have her 6 stars. I am getting her leveled while also getting her masteries. You can see we're at 390 scrolls right now. I've also been getting her Armiger's masteries at the same time. I would like Armiger to get 6 stars probably at some point, just for the purposes of crowd control, just for his turn meter reduction, but giving him a little bit more stats to survive some of the higher difficulty fights. But Cold Heart and Armiger combined will help us lock down bosses that can be turn meter manipulated. That's Fire Knight and Spider. Now, there are other problems with Spider that I will have to try and figure out, since I did not pull a cleanser yet. At least not anything better than a Spirit Host. Hopefully, a Reliquary Tender is right around the corner, and that can be our big cleanser. I've wasted a lot of rare books getting points in like Clan v Clan and Champ training tournaments because I didn't really expect to find a rare worthwhile. Now I have one, but rare books come pretty easy even still in this early game setting, so we should be able to get a few rare books and get her booked up. That's where we're at with the dungeons. Sand Devils and Shogun, no real big changes there. We're pretty much always going to be kind of in the same spot. We might see a bit of improvement with the Cold Heart pull, because we could potentially do some of these harder stages faster and cheese them a little bit that way by doing large enemy max HP hits with her. So we'll experiment with that when the time comes. I feel like that's pretty much everything I have for you guys. I just wanted to give you a really brief rundown about where we are and what is next, right? So who is the next 6-star? These are our only 2 5-stars. I'm kind of leaning Armiger, but I do think Lady Annabelle has to get 6-starred at some point. Let's talk about that a little bit, because we can expand this just a smidge here and talk about, you know, kind of what the future holds. If we look ahead in the missions, you'll notice a lot of my champions are only 5-star ascended. Well, why is that? I've talked about it before, but it's because of these missions. You can see there is a mission right here. Ascend a spirit champion to level 6 of Ascension. It doesn't make any sense for me to 6-star ascend Calvalax before this mission because this is not retroactive. Then there's a magic one. Who's going to be the magic one? Ugo. Then there's a force one. Who's going to be the force one? Who is going to be the force one? And herein lies the problem. We know who the void one is going to be. That's Cold Heart. But the force one is quite a bit tougher to figure out because we don't have that great of force champions. Now, we did pull one. This came from the Prism Shards from the Sand Devil that we did last week. Rector Drath is a great champion. And if you didn't have Tagoar, I probably would say Rector Drath is going to be the play. But Tagoar brings good healing, less than Rector Drath, but good. Plus a full team revive, and increased speed. Combine that with Ugo's a little bit of extra healing, and Ugo brings decreased defense and leech. Rector Drath just becomes slightly less valuable in this particular roster. Now, she does bring the decreased attack, but we're getting that from Taragi, and I just don't see a way to fit her in Clan Boss, which is where that decreased attack's really going to help us. She does bring a little bit of damage reduction in the form of Veil, because Veil and Perfect Veil reduce incoming damage by 7.5 and 15% respectively. She has her own uses, and she is the best Force Affinity champion that I currently have, but it's redundant to build her other than for Faction Wars. However, the great news is we have a giant roadblock, no pun intended, before we get there. And that is both the affinity bonus to level 8 and affinity bonus to level 9. Those are going to be the hardest missions for me to accomplish. Also the slowest going, because I can only accomplish them basically by refreshing every 15 minutes, finding an easy battle, and then sitting on my hands for another 15 minutes. That is going to be the plan moving forward, but another good shard pull could easily change things. Probably the most wanted Force Affinity champion from like an Ancient is Geomancer, and pulling Geomancer would change everything. You can see right there at the top, he is Force Affinity. He would be massive. We're going to keep pulling shards, hoping for a better Force Affinity champion than Rector Drath. Not that she's bad, it's just she's not going to make my main teams over Tagoar, but she could potentially make Faction Wars really go very, very deep, and that would be really good for me as well. So that's kind of the plan. I just wanted to give you guys a big update, big rundown about what's going on, and I also wanted to say thank you guys so much for watching and for all of your support. If you are new here, please consider subscribing. That is the best way to support my channel right now, and it means the most to me. And I have some big news coming up. I don't have all the details yet for this video, but you're going to see announcements at the beginning of my videos talking about that big change, so keep an eye out for that as well. All right, guys, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.